And good morning, and welcome into the starting lineup on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham in studio on April 20th alongside my big good buddy, Chewy.
I'm glad you're in a good mood this morning, Joe Abraham.
How are you today, my friend?
I'm all right. I've got a little bit of those pre-show nerves, but we're working them out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can't, work them out of you this morning, stretch them out of you,
Yeah.
beat them out of you, kick them out of you. I don't know, something.
We'll get them out.
We'll stick you out in the parking lot, make you run some laps.
Oh, dang. Dude, I want to be able to do the show. You know, like
we'll get rid of them somehow.
We'll do a napping live stream.
Oh man, it is 4:20 here on the starting lineup, and you can get involved in the show at 931-967-3500. You can text the show as well, 931-305-5611, and you can also jump on over to the ESPN Winchester Facebook page and pull up the FMO Facebook feed. The show this morning fueled by Loco Coffee, as it is each and every day. And it is a Mayhem Monday. And we're going to start the Mayhem right off the bat with one Miss Sam Canup in studio with us this morning. I said it right this time, right?
You sure did. You did great.
Only took me a year and a half of knowing you.
Oh, it's fine.
So Inspired Physiotherapy, you're one of our, Miss Sam, you're one of our industry experts over at 931go.com. And you sent me an article over the weekend that we are going to post this morning. And I read this article, and it was like it was written for me.
I was wondering what you would think about it.
For anybody who knows me close enough to know that I can't barely touch Chewy can touch his knees standing up straight.
Sure.
I
Not
can't.
your toes, just your knees.
No,
well, I get pretty close.
Just yeah. I mean, his knuckles almost drag on the ground, but not quite. I can't like bend over and touch my calves, my knees at all. I am probably the tightest wound person I have ever met, from a flexibility standpoint.
Right.
And you've got an article. Tell us a little bit about what's in the article to start with.
Yeah, so this last week I was actually working with a few different patients, and I feel like I was repeating some of the same things, and I was like, well, this is obviously something that people need to know about. So, like, in therapy, a lot we end up talking about, like, the why behind why we got somewhere. And so a lot of times people come in, they're like, hey, I've been stretching, I've been doing this, like, daily, but it's just giving me, like, temporary relief. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, like, is your muscle actually shortened? Like, is the muscle truly the issue? Or, like, what got you to that point? So sometimes it ends up being like that the muscle ends up being super weak, or like muscles around an area are
That's
weak.
not my
so
problem.
Therefore, that's what's funny too. Is I was actually working with my brother-in-law the other day, and it was one of those that like weaknesses like hide.
Yeah.
Like they just like they hide behind other things because as our body like works, it works around our deficits. So it's pretty interesting. And so that's where I end up seeing people and we're like, okay, cool. You're feeling this, like you're feeling tight. Is it because your muscle's actually shortened? What around it might be weak? Like, is your nervous system on fire? Like, are you somebody that just, like, stays super tense all the time? And we need to not only, like, stretch your shoulders, like, get the upper trap to calm down, but, like, we also have to get you out of that posture all day. And then also help with, like, strengthening your postural muscles or whatever that ends up being. So it's just basically it's trying to get people to understand that, like, hey, stretching, it can be great, but it's also not the end-all, be-all if you don't understand why you're getting to the point that you're getting to.
In the article, you talk about tight not always meaning short. Explain that in English for Chewy. He didn't understand that part.
I got you. So, like, basically, like, you can have, like, a muscle that's truly shortened. Like, if we looked at your hamstrings and we tested them,
Yes.
like, are they truly just short?
Yes.
And so that can definitely, like, are the muscles just, like, shortened, like, they're just staying super tight all the time? Like, if my bicep cannot truly fully extend all the way out, it has, like, a little bit of a bend the whole time. It's truly shortened. Now, what got it there? Was it a surgery? Was it an injury? Was it the fact that you couldn't use your arm for a while for some reason?
I skip leg day all the time.
Like all
That's
those
what got
things.
me there.
But then you can't get that to actually lengthen unless you
Right.
strengthen the muscle opposite of it too. So like if you're not strengthening your tricep, it's not really going to help you keep that length of your bicep.
And so are muscles in general elastic in nature to a degree, or
I would never describe them as elastic.
Like,
to a degree, they're going to be, because they're going to want to go back as well.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, when someone needs to do that kind of stretching, do it with you. Don't go home and, like, put a weight on it and think that you're stretching correctly, right? Like, that kind of thing is
I
also
think,
what
yeah,
you're
you
saying?
definitely need, like, some knowledge behind it, because sometimes it is needed where, like, you have to stretch for, like, 30 seconds to a minute to truly get the muscle to extend. Like,
Okay.
if you're stretching less than that, you're probably not going to get, like, a lasting effect.
Oh,
Okay.
But then again, like, there's times where we have to have somebody do like 3 to 5 minutes of keeping their knee straight and
Right.
having a weight over top of it to get a low load over a long time. And so they're different people need different things. And so that's where it's like, it's always hard whenever I see something on like Instagram and it's like, if you do this one stretch, you're going to feel better. And I'm like, how do you know that person's going to feel better by doing this one stretch just
Right.
because they have knee pain?
Good point.
so Chewy is, and don't ask me how I know this. It's uncomfortable to talk about. Chewy's one of the most flexible people.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently that I know, and I'm one of the least flexible people that I know. But when we talk about something like this, is this something that is because oftentimes it is, the conversation is more about people are treating symptoms rather than necessarily the actual problem. Is that the case with this a lot?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're trying to get out with this, is that, like, you just have to figure out why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. Like, if you're somebody that runs all the time but you never do any strength training, like, why is something hurting? Like, we need to figure out where that's at.
Right.
So,
I for me, when you mention stretching, I immediately go to my hamstrings.
yeah. Yeah, I mentioned those.
So, what kind of relationship do muscles like your hamstrings have to your lower back? Because
Oh, yeah.
when I have low back problems, usually what relieves them is my hamstrings, stretching
Yeah.
out my hamstrings, and I don't know why.
Oh, so basically, like, if you were able to look at, like, a skeleton, like an anatomy figure, it'd probably make more sense. But it attaches, like, the bones that you sit on is where your hamstrings attach. And so your pelvis and your back are closely related. Like, we end up treating the whole body when we treat somebody. Like, it's just hard not to. So basically, whenever that is shortened, your pelvis can only rock forward so much, which means then you might be excessively bending at your back, or you might be limited at your back too, just because of how your whole system is working together. But then you also have your sciatic nerve. So you have muscle or nerves in your back that go in and form this nerve that travels down the backside of your leg. So whenever that nerve is irritated or tight, it can be coming from the back. It can
Right.
be coming from underneath the piriformis muscle. It can be coming just from that nerve because it doesn't get moved enough. So then there's times where people have hamstring tightness, but then we differentiate that from like, oh, that might actually be some neural tension where the nerve is irritated or it's acting shorter. And we have to address that. Otherwise, you're never going to get the relief from your back, your hip, or the hamstring
Right.
region.
It's interesting you said that you need like 30 seconds to really stretch a muscle and stuff. I remember when I was in school and they teach you, or even football practice, we do the hamstring stretches and all the stretches and things like that. And I mean, we counted to 10.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something whenever I helped Miss Lisa out with the triathlon camp for the kids, like that is one of the first things that we learned was like, hey, like, one, like you don't have to put your hands behind your head when you recover. Like
Right.
we learned that we can put our hands on our knees or just lay down. And then we also learned that like, hey, 30 seconds to a minute is ideally what you want. Like if you're not stretching for that long, what are you doing it for then? Like, are we just going through the motions? And this is why our kids get hurt because we're going through the motions of things, or can we actually do it right?
Right. Wow. I didn't even realize. I didn't even know. And I think that
Yeah.
there's a lot of coaches probably out there who don't know that type of thing. And for athletes, especially like we got our football players are going into spring football this week.
Gosh, that's crazy.
I know it.
Ready for football.
How important is it for them to understand these types of things early on in life before problems start rearing their heads later in life?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those, like, it's always great to know as much as you can. We can't know everything, and we can't do everything. Like, when I was training for my marathon, like, we tried to hit as many muscle groups as we can to stay as healthy as possible and do all the things. But, like, we got to the end of the marathon, we're like, oh, we should have done X, Y, and Z. It's like, you truly only have so much time to do everything.
Right.
So basically being able to, if you end up with pain or if you end up with something that just doesn't feel right, going ahead and getting help just so you can understand you as an individual and what do you need to focus on. I think that's what ends up needing to be important. but then also just realizing like where our limitations are as people. Like if you don't know a lot about weightlifting, should we be the ones taking people to go teach them how to be in a gym, or like them specifically with their sport? So like you want to make sure you're helping and not hindering. There's so much that can go into that, like understanding that we should like do dynamic stretching and like warm-ups, but then you need to do static stretching afterwards, unless you have an injury that I need you to do some static stretching beforehand. So like there's always like just these differences that happen depending on who it is.
Brett and Jay both jumped in this morning giving you're sort of corroborating what you're saying. A lot of things are just sort of connected. Brett says he recently learns that he has tendonitis in his Achilles as a result of being flat-footed. And then Jay came back and said, everything is connected from the ground up. My knee injury caused my lower back pain, which caused a spinal fusion. Gotta love the VA and their benefits. That is not. And then John Korak jumping in as well, saying hello. So, yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah, and it's one of those that, like, Achilles injuries can be super hard just because, like, what that does. But, like, somebody who has a flat foot, like, flat feet can be an issue, but they also might not be. Like, if you've had a flat foot, you've had it your entire life, but has your foot been weak, or has it not been, like, supported in that position? And so sometimes that can be part of it. Sometimes people do need orthotics, though, too, and it's like, hey, like, your body just doesn't move well with that flat foot, so we need to try to adjust some things. But trying to get some support from the ground up then, and that can be strengthening from the hip and the knee to support the ankle, or making sure you're doing a lot of foot exercises to help support the foot to decrease the issues at the calf and the tendon. Like, I've had people who come in with heel pain, and it's like just this puzzle of like trying to figure out, I was like, is it coming directly from your heel? Is it coming from your calf muscle? And you have a bunch of calf muscles. So like there's like your posterior tib muscle that when we needle it, like it just sends referrals everywhere, but that can help somebody's heel pain. Where the next person has heel pain because of a trigger point in their foot, like one of their foot intrinsic muscles. So it's always super fun.
Every once in a while I'll wake up and I'll have, especially if I'm like playing basketball or something like that, I'll wake up and my right Achilles is hurting, and I'm like hobbling through the house. I don't know what it's about, but
you can work it out and you can keep going.
Yeah, there we go. One of the questions I had is in regard to like neck and shoulder tension. Sitting at our screens all day, and then the tech neck thing, looking at the phones and all that. I'm sure that most of our listeners have dealt with some sort of pain or stiffness in their neck. What would you say as far as that goes? Is that an area that they can stretch and that'll help it? Or, I mean,
I think that sometimes like that's where I was talking to people last week. So like when you have that tech neck and you're just kind of like your head is forward all the time, some of those muscles are extended. So like if you're having pain in the back of your neck or on the side here, like that might be a little bit more of an extended position for that muscle, but it feels tight. And so then you feel like you need to stretch it. Well, the muscles in the front are actually what are becoming shortened. So we need to stretch here, and we need to strengthen a little bit in the back. So that goes back to like our posture, like article that we did where it's like, hey, just don't be in one position for too long. Like my husband's probably getting annoyed with me at this point because I'm like, hey, I need you to sit up. Like, don't do this, don't do that. And he's just like, Sam, I'm fine. I'm like, yes, but I'm like in my mind, like I see these things all day, and I'm just like, I think worst case scenario for everybody. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be awful. So that we get into like, okay, is it your upper trap, which is just one of the most common muscles to be tight because of whether it's tension or like how you're sitting or what you're doing. But if somebody has their shoulders at their ears while they're typing all day and they're stressed out, well, we can't just stretch that muscle because you're going to go back to doing it tomorrow. So we got to figure out what muscles might be weak so we can not naturally, but like just basically try to effectively help you to change the way that you're sitting when you might have been sitting that way for 20 years. So that's where things don't just happen overnight, unfortunately.
Okay, what about from a gym standpoint? And again, we're talking to Sam Canup of Inspired Physiotherapy. When I go to the gym and I weightlift, there's some times where I spend the first, 10, 15 minutes stretching out and limbering up and that type of thing. And then there's other days where I just show up and start getting into it. Yeah. Does it help as far as building muscle? Is it dangerous to just jump into it? Because and maybe this is wrong because again, you can't listen to everything that you see on the internet, but one of the things that I came across is a guy who was talking about, rather than spending 15, 30 minutes stretching out or whatever beforehand, when you start an an exercise, just start it with very low weight and then do that exercise until you're loosened up and that type of thing.
I think that could be effective.
Yeah.
Like, that can be effective. It's always hard to say that it's always yes for everybody.
Right.
But no, that can be right. Just like, I will usually encourage somebody not to stretch, like static stretch beforehand, because you want your muscles, you don't want them to completely lengthen out before you then go try to shorten them a ton during your workout too. So it's more of like making sure that there is blood flow, making sure that they are warm. Now, if you're having pain, you're like, okay, I know that I need to stretch out my hamstrings before I go and do something like hinging with my back. Like, then yes, then that would be effective to do that beforehand. But yeah, you want to make sure that you just have blood flow and that those muscle groups that you're about to go train are warm and ready to go, rather than just going off cold, because that is where injury usually is going to happen without an effective warm-up.
Right. What about after? Would you then stretch out afterwards?
I usually
to make
try
sure
to stretch
that
out afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, do some kind of mobility, let your body actually cool down rather than just going like sitting in your car. Like, that's where like I always do better if I'm working out with a partner. Like, if I'm working out with somebody, usually I'm going to take some time to cool down, do some mobility, and give myself like 10 to 15 minutes.
Very cool. Very interesting stuff. Yeah. So if somebody is listening and they're thinking, that's me, or I am super tight, what is the first thing that they should go about doing differently? Or if they've got some sort of acute issue, how should they reach out to you guys?
Yeah. So I would say, because it's so hard to say like somebody should just do something. I think that's just what I've said all morning. But it is. So it's one of those, I'd say, either like come in and let's do an evaluation, or if it's just something that you truly just have some questions, you're like, I just need to sit across from somebody like face to face and just like ask a few questions so I can understand. Like, we do free screenings. We meet with people for like 15 to 20 minutes. Hey, what's going on? How can I help you understand it more? Like, hey, try this. If it works, great. Like, if I can give you a quick fix, like, you go do your thing. If it doesn't help effectively, like, let's come in, let's try to like peel back the layers. Because usually if something's been going on long enough, like, usually people don't come in right away. Usually it's been a little bit. So if something can become more chronic, we got some layers to pull back. Like, I waited 6 months to go, I think it was 6 months, to go see Caroline about my shoulder. She was like, Sam, if you would just come in when you heard it, this would be, and I was like, I know, but I was doing other things. Like, life gets in the way, and I did not prioritize that. So therefore, she's had to take a good 3 months to fix my shoulder. And so layers have to be pulled back.
You know what I think we need to do is we need to go in. We need to see like what my baseline is from a flexibility standpoint. And then you need to give me the full rundown, the run through. This is how you're going to fix your hamstrings and your low back issues and things like that. And then I do them, and then we come back in a few. How long would it take? How long does it take? Like, if I'm super stiff and unflexible, and then you were to give me some stretches and things like that, and I was to do them, how long would it take for me to see real results?
How long has it been that way?
My whole life.
Okay. So I'd say like more than likely within like 2 to 4 weeks, we'd want to see some type of change. Does not mean that you're there.
Yeah.
But I'd want to see some type of change to be like, okay, you have done these. And I always have to check with people. I'm like, did you do them? Like, did you actually go home and do it, or did you not? I just need the honest answer so I can know. But then actually see like, okay, are you noticing a little bit of difference, whether that's increase in pain, decrease, or it's staying the exact same? Staying the exact same, we need to change things up. If it's increasing pain, do we just need to like modify it a little bit? Do we need to shorten something or do something different?
People are going to walk in and Chewy's going to be like stretching me out, stretching my hamstrings, do that thing that where your like foot's up in the air and they're pushing it back or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that wouldn't be weird at all. Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Folks, go ahead, Chewy.
One last thing. So J. Cole did jump in. He said, question for Sam. Do you guys work with VA patients?
Yes, we do.
Okay. That's the only question that we had left.
Okay. Tremendous. The article will be posted up at 931go.com later today. We'll share it over to the Facebook page. Again, she is Sam Samantha. Do you go by Sam or Samantha?
I go by Sam.
Okay,
I love my name.
Yeah.
But like everybody calls me Sam.
Yeah. Canup. And she is over at Inspired Physiotherapy. And I'm going to continue to, because every time I say it, I want to say Canup, but it's Canup.
Everybody does, though. Like, everybody says Canup. And I'm just like, gosh, if we would have just kept Cook, like, it's easy.
Yeah.
C-O-K. Husband wasn't for that.
Well, I'm going to be very deliberate about it until my brain, like, it's stuck in there. But thank you so much for coming in. And I appreciate you. I hope that you have a tremendous week this week over at Inspired Physiotherapy.
Thank you.
Where can folks find you one last time if they're interested?
Yeah, so if you find Raphael's you can find us. Like, we're to the left of them over in the Walmart Plaza area.
Yep.
So that's usually our best way to tell people, hey, come find us over there.
Right there in the corner.
Yes.
All right. Well, have a great week.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be back on the other side with more. It is the starting lineup. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
The Tennessee Lifeline Peer Project connects individuals and families to addiction recovery resources right here in Franklin County and across our region, from treatment referrals and 12-step meetings to education and ongoing support. Because recovery happens when we're stronger together, and life truly is stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org/TNLifeline or call 931-464-0725. Funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Spring is a season of renewal, and at High Point Health System, with Ascension St. Thomas, your health is always in season. From routine checkups to advanced care, their dedicated team is here to help you feel your best today and every day. Compassionate care, backed by the strength of Ascension St. Thomas. This spring, take a moment for your health. Learn more or find a provider at highpointhealthsystem.com. High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas. Caring for you for every season of life.
From the 931 Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Winchester weather update.
Starting off our morning, very, very chilly in the mid-40s, but going to be warming up in the afternoon, bright and sunny with a high of 73 degrees and some calm winds coming in from the northwest at around 5 miles per hour this afternoon to keep you nice and chill under that summertime sun. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester for all of your wonderful weather updates.
Hey folks, I'm Johnny Hand from WCDT, the home for Franklin County Athletics. From Friday night football to every big game in between, we're proud to bring you all the action that keeps our community cheering. Want to be part of that excitement? We'd love to talk with you about advertising and other great opportunities to support our local athletes. So give us a call today at 931-967-2201 or stop by the station at 1201 South College Street right here in Winchester. WCDT Winchester. We are Franklin County.
I don't know what to tell you. I know it's not much, but this is the best they've got. You're listening to the starting lineup on ESPN Radio, WCDT Winchester.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. We should start on the Mondays that, well, Doc Shapiro comes in every Monday, and on the Mondays that Sam comes in, we should start calling those medical Mondays.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
It's just
Doug Garrett jumped in saying, "Sorry I'm late. I pulled a hamstring, putting my socks on.
gotta stretch, Doug.
Need to get some physiotherapy." From
We
Sam.
sometimes the show we need to stretch before the show because it gets so crazy. We get off the rails so quickly.
Everyone would see my dinosaur claws if I do that. No one's gonna get that. Like, I just realized that.
Your dinosaur claws?
That's what you called it the other day.
Oh,
The claw.
yeah.
Yeah. The claw. When I stretch, apparently I have a. I don't know what to call it.
He does this thing every time he stretches. He goes, "Eh."
And I make that noise specifically every time. Every time I stretch, I go.
It is the starting line. It's a Mayhem Monday, and we welcome you into the show. 420. Go figure. That's the first day that Chewy's going to be doing his show. 420. Yeah. So you excited, man?
I am excited. I'm really just curious to see who shows up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just out of curiosity, I'm like, who's tuning into this nonsense?
Me. I'll be there. I'm excited.
You seem to be more excited than almost anyone I know.
I heard that there would be pizza, so yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Kyle from Domino's is coming to hang out with us this afternoon.
Well, it'll be on from 2 to 4 p.m. It is Unleashed with Chewy, presented by the folks over at Burroughs Termite and Pest Control.
Isn't that cool of them?
Yeah.
That was very kind of them to go ahead and do that off the get-go, so
They-
I can't wait.
They heard that you were getting your own show, and they're like, yeah, that's something that we want to be a part of. Every day. Anyway, so I got to tell you about something that happened over the weekend, Chewy.
Okay.
And as you get older, there are so many instances, and the guys in the chat will know what I'm talking about, but there are so many instances where your mind says, yes, I can still do that, and your body says, no, you cannot, that it's such a pleasant surprise when it goes the other way.
Yeah.
So this past weekend, I went out and I played tennis for the first time, and I've played some pickleball here in recent years, but I played tennis for the first time in probably 5 or 6 years. I hadn't even picked up a racket. And in fact, my 6th grade son and my 8th grade daughter literally have never seen me play before, did not even realize that I could play. You know, to them, I'm dad, I'm radio guy, I'm old guy, I'm washed up a little bit jacked. You know, they do think that I'm a little bit jacked. Which I tell my sons, I've got to stay in the gym because I can't let the inmates take over the asylum, right? I've got to be able to continue to put them in their place. Well, my son and daughter, my 8th grade daughter and my 6th grade son, now they know. They know that Pops has still got it. Because I gave him that smoke over the weekend. Yeah, we went up to the park. We played some tennis. So Juliana she was not there the first day we played. Jack was there, and he was just hitting the ball back and forth. I went out there, and I was hitting it with him, and I was like, okay, you want to play an actual, like a little match? He's like, yeah, sure. So I let him serve first, and I won the first point, just kind of, hitting consistent shots.
Okay.
And he was getting frustrated. Oh man, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. He was getting all frustrated. So then it's my turn to serve, and he hadn't to that point. He still had not seen me serve, and in fact, I hadn't even warmed up to serve. And so I tossed the ball up in the air and just whop, curving, slicing towards the corner, hits right in the box, blows past him. He didn't even move. He just looked at it and looked at me, and he was like, what the crap? He goes, holy! Now, in his defense, in my head, I was going, holy!
Yeah, but you had to play cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize I still could do that. But it was one of these moments. I don't know how many guys in the chat or ladies have ever had this experience. You get to a point where you stop doing something and you're just like, no, I probably can't do that anymore. And then you go out, and it's not like riding a bike. I mean, I completely forgot I knew how to ride the bike. I didn't even remember that I knew how to play tennis. That's how long it's been since I played tennis.
Katie says, lower that ego.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you gotta lower the kid's ego.
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
Now me, I know my limitations. They're high. They're high. I don't have many of them. But the kids, I got to still let them know, who the boss is, who the big dog is in the house.
Let them know where they are in the pecking order.
Right.
Show them that totem pole.
Yeah.
So Jay actually jumped in saying, reminder to all, stretch before you go ride your motorcycle. My traps are sore after this weekend ride.
Well, that was what I was going to get to, is that, I had a pretty busy weekend. I was at the gym a bunch, played tennis, pickleball, was running around, played some basketball, did all these things. And I'm a little bit sore. Yeah.
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're getting out. Jay Cool says, run. I can't anymore unless I really need to. Brett says, it's little man syndrome talking. That's so rude. But we had a great time this weekend. We actually met up, me, you, Johnny, and speaking of Jack, he showed up with us.
Yeah, Jack came out. We went up to the VA, post 1893?
Yeah.
And I tell you what, it's like a secret society up there, right? You can't get in the door normally. I have only ever seen the post from the lake, and we got a chance. We got the inside. We literally got to go inside, and what a beautiful VFW.
It was a gorgeous building, gorgeous location, really nice, well maintained, and I gotta say, like the people,
Right.
I mean, so welcoming. Like everyone was like happy to see you, smiles. They were invite. There's like I think the best word I would describe the atmosphere, inviting.
Yeah. Well, that was you stole my thunder as far as that is concerned, because that was my transition was going to be to like you said, the building is, or like I said, the building was beautiful, but like you said, the people were awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we really do appreciate them. I hope that everybody had a safe and enjoyable ride. Chewy and I, the Hoagie Rollers, we went up there. We kind of saw them off, so to speak, and just spent a little bit of time with them. I know Johnny hung out with them for a little bit longer than we did, and then we both had things that we had to do. But you're like an air conditioning person or something coming to the house.
We had plumbers.
Yeah, plumbers. That's what it was. Which, by the way, did you guys ever fix that leak? I know that you exploded the whole house.
Yeah.
Was that what it was?
Saturday evening, they finally got it done.
Yeah.
So then we all got to shower at home.
There you go. No more showers at the pool.
Jay says it's open to the public all the time. Wow. Really?
I didn't know that.
Huh. Interesting.
So I can just go up there and hang out with you whenever I want?
Huh. I guess so. Like, that's pretty neat.
See, I thought you had to be... Well, I don't want to be like a poser, though. With Jay, if Chewy and I go up there and hang out, because we left there and we're like, man, we're not cool enough to hang out at this place with these guys and ladies, and we got to get a motorcycle. We got to be cool. I think Chewy wants a trike.
Yeah, there were some guys in there with the 3-wheelers.
Yeah.
They look sick.
Yeah. I want one so bad, and I went back to the house and I told Katie, I was like, man, I really want to be in a motorcycle gang. I really want to take the Hoagie Rollers to the next level.
Yeah.
I really want to be a part of a cool group and have
a real motorcycle club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But more than that, I just want to go hang out at the VFW with the guy. Those guys are so cool.
Also shout out to Farrell. She did give me my skull.
She hooked you up.
She did, and they were so cool. She even gave Tori a little skull, and that was really nice of her. She didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I just want to. Hey, wonderful group of people you guys got out there.
So you've already got a cool nickname. I don't know if I've got a nickname.
You do. But we just don't ever use it on air.
I do, but I don't know if they would have to, like, do they have to gloss us with their own nickname? If we join a group, do they gloss us, or do we already have it, or do we pick it out?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question.
Anyway, so it was a lot of fun seeing those guys and ladies, and we appreciate them. Chewy, today on the show, we're going to turn things around here in just a moment. We're going to go out to Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware. We've got Heath Automotive coming up later on. No trivia today. I couldn't remember. I thought that is this the Monday that the Oasis opens up? I think that this is the
Oasis is shut down.
Sorry, not the Oasis. The Oasis is shut down. The Drafts and Watercrafts.
Maybe.
I think so, but no trivia today.
All right.
I got to ask Scott. Hold on. Is today your opening day? Question mark. I probably can just check this on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's probably an event that's been put up there.
Let me do that instead.
But talk about a wild weekend for you. Mine was sort of the polar opposite. It was a lot of waiting around for stuff to happen. Really. Yeah. We had a polar opposite weekend. How did everybody else is in the chat? Did they have fun? I sort of panicked all weekend, coming up with thinking about this new show. But those nerves are all gone. So we're good. Yeah, we'll be fine. We're all fine here. How are you? It is funny. You mentioned before the show how Destiny has sort of ordained it in a way.
Yes.
It's on 420. The first guy that we're getting on there is
the pizza guy.
The pizza guy.
Drafts opens tomorrow, by the way.
Okay, so drafts opens tomorrow. All right, so I don't have to keep stretching any time. So again, we've kind of talked about it, but it is kind of funny that everything fell in place the way that it did. It feels scripted, but it's actually not.
Yeah, it just kind of worked out that way. Interesting, I was over at the Drafts and Watercrafts Facebook page. Joey, I came across this Dock Hopper program, free ride from the Bass Club to Drafts and Watercrafts. Skip the steps, hop the dock. And apparently, I don't know what the deal is with this as far as what time they're going to be running and all the things. But that's a challenge for a lot of folks is, right, getting down all those steps down to draft some watercrafts. Apparently, you're going to be able to park over at the Bass Club, jump on a little ferry, just ferry you across.
That's pretty cool.
Little dock hopper. It is kind of neat.
Oh my gosh, the famous cooler raffle out there sold for $1,500.
Ooh.
Wow.
Good job by them.
Great job, guys.
We haven't talked about the cooler. The cooler is elite.
It was epic.
I mean, the cooler's like a $10 cooler, but everything that was in it.
It was a red, white, and blue one, though.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I say $10. It was like $39.99.
Oh, we talked about it when we were there about debating about the size of the cooler and everything, and then Jay masterfully came in. He's like, actually, you know what I mean? He was like, let me tell you the psychology behind it, but it was an epic display, to say the very least.
$1,500 cooler.
It definitely worth it.
My guess is that is sitting at one of Jay's friend's house, to where he mentioned that he might have gained access to that cooler. All right, so yes, when we come back, we're going to go out to Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware. Then we've got Heath Automotive. No trivia this morning. That'll start next Monday. But Chewy, I've got some fun things for us to get into this morning. The NFL Draft is this week. It's always the week of my birthday. And so I want to talk about a couple of players that are not going to be drafted this year, but a couple of players that I had some strong, passionate takes about last year. Mm-hmm. One being Travis Hunter. The other being Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
You know how much I love talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I hate the guy. Love talking about him. So we'll get into that later today on the show as well. Baseball is well underway at this point, but you got to be quietly getting excited if you're. And I don't want to jinx it, right? They're 15-7, Chewy. They got the second best record in baseball right now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's not really been any, outside of the guy hitting the other guy in the face with a baseball. You're gonna fight. The pitcher, Chewy, took the baseball in his hand and cold cocked the other guy.
Jeez.
Baseball outside of that,
cork knuckles.
Threw him the knuckleball. Outside of that, very little drama. Not a whole lot of headlines. Really, just winning, man. And you and I got to go last year to Affiliate Day in Atlanta. While we were there, what we saw was all of the Blue Moon is all over that place, the Battery and stuff like that. So who do you think I'm taking this year?
Yeah, there you go. You and Katie.
Yeah, Katie and I are going up there Sunday, and I will be missing you, my friend. I'm sad that it won't be you and I again, but I am excited to take her.
Yeah, someone's telling me Katie might enjoy herself at the Battery.
I'm gonna need to figure out a way to get her in and out of that place safely.
I think y'all will be good. She'll have a good time. It'll be fun.
Also, spring football. I mentioned this. Spring football starts this week. We'll talk a little bit about that. All that coming up today on the show and more. It is the starting lineup. Get involved in today's show. Jump on over to the FMO Facebook feed. We would love to interact with you guys.
Jay did come in and said, Skull, Vikings, baby. Put the Vikings helmet on top. There you go. Where is the Vikings helmet?
Vikings helmet's in the other room.
Oh, that's right. It's on the wall. Interesting.
Chewy, the Vikings are the purple team.
I liked the Vikings.
Right. That's one of the ones that you like.
You and Dave made fun of me the year that Sam Darnold was in the Vikings.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Because you started getting all up in the Vikings.
Well, yeah, because I didn't have a team. I was like, oh, the Vikings sound cool.
Well, hopefully for Jay Cool's, situation, they don't suck this year. He's excited about having Kyler Murray on their roster. They've got McCarthy still. I go back to, I cannot believe that they did not keep Sam Darnold. And what could have been as he goes to the Seahawks and wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What could have been? Anyway, all right, we'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Out with the cold, in with with the comfort. Refresh your home with Hall Furniture in Winchester. From stylish living room sets to cozy recliners and dining pieces made for gathering, now's the perfect time to upgrade your space. Quality, comfort, and pieces you'll love coming home to. That's Hall Furniture. Visit them at 3131 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or browse anytime at hallfurniture.com. Hall Furniture. Make your home feel brand new.
Busy day? No time to feel sick? At Complete Express Care in Winchester, we know life moves fast. And so do we. With short wait times, skilled providers, and walk-in convenience, we make getting quality care easy. Whether it's the flu, a sprain, or a last-minute physical, we're here to help you get back to what matters most. Locally trusted, open daily, and ready to care for you. Complete Express Care, right here at 1211 Dinah Shore Boulevard in Winchester. Call 931-967-6669 today to learn more.
You shouldn't have to choose between quality and price. And with Flagship Lawn Services, you get both, plus the Flagship Finish Guarantee. That means every job is done right, or they'll make it right. No shortcuts, no hassle. Just a yard that looks the way it should. From weekly mowing to full spring cleanups, they've got you covered. Call or text Flagship Lawn Services today at 239-849-4033 and get the best value for your yard this season.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Franklin County Rebelettes fell just short Thursday night, dropping a 7-6 district contest to Lawrence County. But the loss told a deeper story. Franklin County intentionally rotated all 3 primary pitchers in 2-inning windows as part of the postseason preparation. Bella Smith opened, Victoria Nelson handled the middle innings, and Delana Marshall closed. Nelson was outstanding, delivering 3 2/3 scoreless innings with 6 strikeouts to keep the Rebelettes within striking distance. Defensively, however, the difference showed again. Of the 7 runs allowed, only 3 were earned. On the season, Franklin County has surrendered 55 unearned runs, a number that continues to loom large in tight games. At the plate, the Rebelettes adjusted late and nearly completed a comeback, finishing with 10 hits. With runners on 2nd and 3rd in the 7th and the tying run just 60 feet away, a groundout ended the game with Bella Smith waiting on deck. Franklin County will host Warren County Monday as district tournament play approaches. In other news, a 55-year-old Winchester man, Joey Allen Evie, remains in the Franklin County Jail on a $200,000 bond following charges related to an April 4th incident. He faces charges including especially aggravated kidnapping, rape, aggravated assault, and aggravated burglary. Authorities report the victim was forced into a vehicle, assaulted, and later escaped. Evie is scheduled to appear in court July 10th. And last night, strong storms moved across Middle Tennessee, bringing heavy rain, lightning, hail, and strong winds. While most of Franklin County avoided major damage, other areas experienced downed trees and power outages. Utility crews worked Friday morning to restore service in the affected communities. For more local news and updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
Joe had to mix up some more pre-workout, but he's ready to go another round. Back to the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Okay, Franklin County, I need you to do something for me today because only 324 of you have done it. I need you to go freaking vote.
Yes.
Go vote. Which I have not done it yet either. Chewy, you and I need to go make a run over there and early vote. But early voting is going on from now until April 30th. And if you have not done so yet, go and vote. Please be a part of this process. If you want to hold off and you want to wait, okay. But now is like the easier time to do it, right? You've got between now and the 30th, the end of the month, essentially, to do it. And we've only had 324 votes to this point.
Get out there and get it. It's at the Annex building.
Yeah. Again, be a part of the process. I'm going to continue to remind you. Early voting going on now. Go vote. Chewy, let's go out to Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware. Now, if you've been holding off on voting, I will tell you about this. Drafts and Watercrafts is having a meet and greet the candidates tomorrow on their opening night, 6 p.m. Head on over to Drafts and Watercrafts. If you are unsure about the candidates and you want to get in front of them, you want to ask some questions, you want to learn a little bit more about them before you place your vote, I completely understand that. And you can do that over at Drafts tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Are you ready to be on the air?
That's April 21st.
Okay.
Season opens up tomorrow at Drafts. All right.
Got Miss Christie online this morning.
Good morning, Miss Christie. How are you today?
I am good. I can't find Jeff. He's missing in this building somewhere, so you get to talk to me?
He got lost. He got lost in the store. It's a pretty good-sized store.
It's a big store.
It is.
It could be lost anywhere. How's everything?
I am tremendous, and it's always good to talk to you, Miss Christie. You guys over there, this past, what has it been, a year or two now that you guys have had the appliances over there?
Yeah, well, we've had them about 3 or 4 years, but we've had our showroom for like a year and a half.
Okay.
So we're doing good.
Now, we talked a lot about that in the past, but when people hear the name Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware, I think that there's a couple of things within the name that may confuse them. Number one, we've talked about the poultry side of things, and then number two, I would say the pro hardware side of things. You guys are a friendly hardware store to even the novice. You don't have to be a hardware professional or a professional in any kind of industry. In fact, you actually specialize in helping people who aren't professionals.
Absolutely. And it's good. Like if you come in here, you go, "Well, I have this thing.
Right.
It kind of looks like this."
Yeah.
And we figure it out.
Yeah, you have a team of guys who will go through what they're trying to accomplish and help them with their projects. And I think that that's really cool because when you go to some of these big box stores or other stores, oftentimes you don't necessarily find that. You're either dealing with a kid or somebody who, they're just stocking shelves or they don't necessarily know. But all of your team members are very knowledgeable.
They try to be, and if it's something they absolutely don't know, they will go hunt down somebody who can help you to get you taken care of. We don't just leave you standing in the aisle going, I don't know, not my department.
Right, and you do deal with professionals where you place huge orders and things like that for general contractors, but you can also help folks find, say they've got this one little piece that broke off of something or that they lost. So regardless of the size of the project, I've gone in there before and walked out with like a single $1.09 part or something like that. But you guys can help folks with all size of projects.
Yep, we sure can, and we will. We will hunt you down, whatever it is you're needing, to the best of our ability.
Now, with the spring season and a lot of folks starting these projects outdoors, what are you seeing a lot of going on right now from your customers?
Water hoses, because it's very dry out. And a lot of stuff like just to do lawn care. I mean, you want to get those bushes trimmed. You want to get your garden ready. You get the weeds out of your flower beds, just all that kind of stuff. We have gloves. We have all the stuff to get down there and dig down in there and get the root out. Stuff to spray, weed spray. We have this stuff called RM43, I believe is the number. It's the best weed killer. You do the fence rows a couple times a year, not like every 30 days or something like that.
Right.
A couple times a year, and it takes care of it.
Wow.
Ricky did jump in saying that Miss Christie can do it, but Jeff is useless.
Yes. That's what we've determined, right? Miss Christie, thank you so much this morning. If folks want to find you guys over there at Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware and they have a project that they're working on that they need some help with, where can they find you guys?
Just come and check us out at 1991 Sharp Springs Road right here in Winchester, or give us a call at 967-7351, or check us out on the web at poultryprohardware.com.
All right, Miss Christie. I hope you guys have a tremendous week.
You too. Enjoy the sunshine.
That is Miss Christie over at Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware. Again, located right over there. If you're headed towards like Walmart and you turn in, what is that road, Chewy? Do you know?
Sharp Springs.
Sharp Springs. You turn in on Sharp Springs. I'll be honest. I was one of those people who I never realized. I always thought it was like a contractor store. You know, the way that it's kind of built and laid out, it looks like you got to be some sort of professional pull in there. It's even got the pro in the name. And the first time we talked to them, I then went up there like a couple days later. It was the first time I had ever been in a store and was just blown away.
To give people context, my brother works at Home Depot. I still shop at Poultry Electric. So if that tells you anything about that store.
You know what it kind of reminds me of, though? It's kind of like a throwback to those hardware stores from the 80s and 90s.
It does very much feel like a mom and pop sort of style, but the accessibility of all the things that they have in there, or like, and then here's the best part. Let's say you go in there and then they don't have it. It's literally as simple as walking up to the desk and be like, "Can you guys get this?" And then they'll be like, "Yep, it'll be here in 2 or 3 days." And then you're like, "Oh, okay." And then you just go.
Yeah, it's tremendous. It's like the hardware store that you used to roll up to with your dad. In tow. He'd haul you in there. Hey, we gotta go pick up a new this, that, or the other thing.
Hey, could you help me pick up 70,000 pounds of mulch today? Thanks.
I gotta go pick up a new set of wrenches.
Yeah,
come with me. All right. Let's do this. Let's go out to while we're in the calling mood. Let's go out to Heath Automotive and see what Steve is up to over at Heath. It is spring, so they've got a ton of, if you go over to their beautiful new website, heathautomotivetire.com, and scroll down, you'll see you'll see some of the manufacturer rebates that they've got going on right now. And you can save like $80 right now. Visa reward gift card after online submission of purchase of 4 BF Goodrich. They've got all of these manufacturer rebates listed over there at heathautomotivetire.com. Steve on the line with us now. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Joe. And the new Hankook promotion starts April 20th.
April 20th. It's not, that one's not even on there. And that's what I was just telling people is you can see a lot of the rebates on heathautomotivetire.com, but you guys haven't yet put up the new one yet.
Typically sometimes that takes a while. Our website is supposed to do that automatically, but it takes you have to kind of chaperone them a little bit with that. And
there you go.
Make sure it's happening.
That's a good way, a nice way of putting it. So one of the things that I love about your website is the section that shows some of the customer reviews. And I've said this since the day that I became familiar with you guys over there at Heath Automotive. I cannot believe how high your score is online from a rating standpoint. You guys are in one of those industries where it can be really tough to not only drive positive feedback, positive reviews and things like that, but to please customers. It's tough enough nowadays as it is with how particular people can be, but especially in your industry to keep that rating so high. But that's a great reflection of the high-quality work that you guys do over at Heath Automotive.
Appreciate that, Joe. Auto repair industry is something that people can be very touchy on. We have been slaughtered before on there. Because typically if a repair or the results of what we're doing, if it doesn't go to the customer satisfaction, that usually gets handled before you ever get to the point of having to get all bent out of shape and go on a crusade against somebody on social media.
Right.
And it's usually due to lack of communication, lack of understanding. Not that we can't drop the ball and not meet a customer's expectations, but we can usually step up and rectify that and handle that. So we're proud of our ratings that we get. We got a couple of really good ones here just in the last few days, people that were traveling that we were able to help out, and that's great. And they didn't, they were kind of at someone's mercy, needing work done, not being from here, not being familiar with what, and a lot of times they react. Why we get that customer in to try to help them is they react to what they see on the internet. So we are proud of that, and but bottom, and that's just a result of doing what we strive to do anyway, and that's take care of the customer. And if you get a great rating out of that, then it's really appreciated.
You guys are open from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then Saturday 8 a.m. to noon. But you also have the drop box where folks can leave the vehicle up there and put the keys in the drop box, and you guys, if you know who to talk to, if you know who you're calling, they gotta call you if they leave. They can't drop the keys in and then expect that you know whose car it is.
They leave notes. Yeah, and sometimes they leave us in the dark, and eventually we'll look in our database and find out whose vehicle it is, and reach out and make contact. I already heard Mason with a very steady full-time customer. He's got almost like a fleet of vehicles. He left one last night, and his keys were in the drop box this morning. Mason's already been on the phone to him this morning and filling out his work order and also. Yeah, the drop box is great. The whole thing is convenience. Drop off 24 hours a day to us. Check in with us. We pick up vehicles. We deliver. I've already got a customer en route that's going to drop theirs this morning. When they get through with their errands this morning, we're going to carry them on to work. They work here in Winchester. So just convenience and trying to take care of the customer.
Well, the last thing for you, when we talk about stopping distance and things like that, it's easy to talk about the tires, and we've talked about that in the past. But, folks, sometimes they let their brakes go a little bit longer than they really should. And when the weather is as unpredictable as it can be in the spring, and maybe it doesn't rain for quite a while, and then all of a sudden the road is a little bit wet, and they need that extra stopping power, that stopping help, making sure that the brakes are in good shape is something that you guys handle, along with other things like oil changes and other repairs. But if there was somebody out there who wasn't sure what kind of condition their brakes were in, is that something that they can bring it up and you guys take a look at it?
Absolutely. We do free brake inspections. They can just come by and we will work you in for an inspection. Or better yet, if your time's at a premium, like most of it is, give us a call. Tell us you haven't had you've got some questions about your brakes, got some noise, got a spongy pedal, low pedal, maybe someplace else has had your vehicle and they've suggested it was time for brakes. We'll be happy to give you a second opinion on that. We do a lot of that. But brake inspections are free because, I get the phone calls. How much are brakes? I've got a, 2015 Accord. What are brakes? What's it going to cost me? Well, that is an impossible question to answer properly for anybody you call, because you're either potentially going to overquote it or you're going to underquote it. So we do free brake inspections. That way we get it in, we'll talk to you about what you may be experiencing with your brakes. More than likely it's going to involve a test drive to where we verify the complaint if we have a complaint. But we're going to measure your brake pads. We're going to check the condition of rotors and drums, hardware. If you've got a pedal issue, is it time for a brake fluid flush? Do we have hydraulic issues going on, like a caliper or wheel cylinder? And all these things are tied in, so when somebody calls and they want a price for brakes, I don't recommend approaching your brake service that way.
Right.
Go to a good, qualified repair shop, let them check your brakes, and then tell you what they recommend. And then you can look at the price, because they're going to give you a price then. And you're either comfortable with it, you're going to have questions about what they're suggesting to be done, and they can answer those questions for you. But that's the right way to approach brakes.
Yeah, that's a good point. And honestly, if the folks that you call don't go through that process and don't take that kind of approach, there's probably questions to be asked.
Well, we always have a big question about, somebody that you can just pick up the phone and call and go, what's an oil change?
Right.
What are brakes? Because, same thing, oil. Does your vehicle hold 3 quarts of oil? Does it hold 10 quarts of oil? How many diesels did we do Saturday morning that they were all 10-quart oil changes? Filter on one was a very high dollar. Of course, it's a larger truck, very high dollar filter. Now, there really should be no set price for an oil change because vehicles are all different.
Yeah. Well, where can folks find you if they need some work done on their vehicle?
Well, we'd be happy to help them. We're at 501 First Avenue Southwest in Winchester. That is 4 blocks off the square. Or you can give us a call at 967-3880. Our website is heathautomotivetire.com.
All right, brother. We will talk to you soon. Have a tremendous week.
You too, Joe.
That is Steve over at Heath Automotive. And on the web, like you said, at heathautomotivetire.com, you can find all the information that you'd want regarding them. And I'll tell you what, that's where I take my vehicle.
Lambo, too. He says Heath Automotive not only handles my tires, front end alignment is important when hauling our food trailer as well. And then he had a really interesting comment. I want to jump in after this call we get from Deckard.
Okay.
Good morning, Deckard.
Good morning, WCDT.
How are you guys out there this morning?
We are wonderful on this Monday. We've got Mass TCAP starting today, so we're ready to rock and roll.
Oh, fun.
All right. Well, we are a little chilly out here, so I think we need to drum up some energy to warm us up. So a really good pledge, I think, is in order.
All right. We've got first grade Miss Gifford's class ready to make that happen.
Let's hear it.
Good morning, Franklin County. Please join Deckard Elementary as we
stand, salute, and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Beautiful pledge this morning. Great job, guys.
All right, who started up this morning? Come on up. Okay, say it nice and loud. Tell them your name.
My name is Kennison, and I have the joke. How do brand new spring flowers greet each other?
I don't know.
Hey, bud.
That was a cute one this morning.
That was a good one.
All right, y'all have you have a wonderful day out there, okay, Deckard?
Thank you. Y'all too.
See ya.
All right. Let's get a quick break in here. When we come back, we will talk about Lambo's comment that he dropped in the chat, and we got a few other things we'll get into this morning, like my favorite guy to talk about, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh boy,
yeah, we'll do all that next and more. It is the starting lineup on a Mayhem Monday, 420 style. ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
In an overdose emergency, every second counts, and your actions can save a life. Through the Tennessee Save a Life program, the Franklin County Prevention Coalition provides free training and naloxone to help community members recognize and respond to an opioid overdose. This training gives you the skills to support someone in crisis. When we're prepared to help one another, we're stronger together, and we're stronger without the stigma that keeps people from seeking life-saving care. Visit fcpctn.org/Tennessee Save a Life to learn more. This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
If you're competing with 3 other businesses in the same category, you're not advertising, you're fighting for attention. At ESPN Radio Winchester, our top partners don't outshout their competitors, they eliminate them through partnerships that offer category protection and exclusivity. Fewer competitors, stronger recall, better results. That's how local advertising is supposed to work. Learn how smart advertising creates a competitive advantage with ESPN Radio 1340 106.9 WCDT Winchester.
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Pennett's Pharmacy.
Starting of our morning, very, very chilly in the mid-40s, but going to be warming up in the afternoon. Bright and sunny with a high of 73 degrees and some calm winds coming in from the northwest at around 5 miles per hour this afternoon to keep you nice and chill under that summertime sun. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester for all of your wonderful weather updates.
At Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester, we're more than a pharmacy. We're your partner in health. Conveniently located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, we're here to serve you with fast, friendly, and personalized service. Need prescriptions filled? Looking for over-the-counter products? We've got you covered. Plus, enjoy local delivery and expert advice from our caring team. Call us today at 931-967-2777 or stop by Bennett's Pharmacy at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard today.
This segment of the starting lineup is brought to you by the Furniture Merchandise Outlet in Tullahoma. Tune into the starting lineup with the FMO Facebook feed every weekday. Now, back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy.
J. Cool called Aaron Rodgers A.A. Ron the Crybaby.
Yeah, a little bit.
Listen to this. Chris Lambeau is going to, in South Pittsburgh, the National Cornbread Festival. This sounds like the coolest thing ever. That's right up my alley.
Yeah, that is right up your alley.
Like, man, I hope...
Live music, food, live music, food, music, more music twice, and carnival rides.
Let me ask you also this. He said that he was in the gym doing some deadlifts and gummy bears. Is that just because you like gummy bears, or is there like a strategy to that? Like getting in the sugar and stuff?
Just a
question.
Is a gummy bear a workout? I don't know what
maybe
a gummy bear is.
Well, it's a snack, but like... I've seen like it
is 420. I don't know.
Oh, those gummy bears. Be careful with those.
Wait. How about the joke? The punchline of the joke being, "Hey, bud."
On 420. Yeah. Didn't run that by anybody. Anyway, you wanted to talk about.
Well, hold on, because in the break we were talking about going to the gym.
Oh yeah, I want to bring that up.
Okay,
you're trying to manifest that.
So we got a couple of different options here. Number one, I figure out a way to get Chewy into the gym. I think that I could, like, maybe kidnap him and trick him into. I'll tell him we're going to the cornbread festival, and I just haul him up there to the gym. That's number one.
Worth cornbread festival. I haven't seen one slice of cornbread.
That's number one. Option number two is we find somebody to trade Chewy, like a gym membership, and we call it Chewy's Transformation, and we go into a whole big thing, and we make a big thing out of it, and we track it. Which I still think that we need to do that with my flexibility from the inspired physiotherapy side of things.
We've got a lot we need to go to. We still need to go do Tai Chi at the library. We've got all kinds of stuff we got to do.
Man, we need to like clone ourselves. It's tough because like tonight I'm going to there's a workshop. FYI, I think that this is tremendous. These workshops that the county comes up with are a great opportunity. People want to get involved. Let's see here. The Franklin County School Board is having a workshop tonight at 6 p.m. over at the Board of Education. That's 215 South College Street here in Winchester. And they're going to be talking about the FY27 budget, the fiscal year 27 budget. Again, this is an opportunity to have input on some things. What are your priorities? The school board wants to hear from the community. They want to know what your priorities are. So if you think that the band needs new uniforms, which they do, this is your opportunity to show up and say, hey, why not focus on this, that, and the other thing? Why not put money into this, that, and the other thing? Let's prioritize this. But But if you don't, then they're just going to do it on their own with no feedback from you. So I encourage you to get involved. Again, that's tonight over at the Board of Education. But Chewy, there are so many things always going on in and around our community. But we can take time. We need to stop. We need to pause. We need to take time, and we need to get you jacked.
From a workout perspective.
Yes.
Yes.
The third alternative is that we skip all that and we solicit. Does anybody have access to steroids?
That would be an interesting experiment if, like, I didn't change anything and just started taking steroids.
Just started getting on trend.
It just gave me a headache. That's what would happen. I just have a heart attack.
It would be funny if we came in one day and you were bigger than me. Just like a weekend, all of a sudden you come back from the weekend and you're just jacked.
It's just like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah.
Wild weekend.
Now, funny enough, and this is why I'm trying to get you. So it can be tough if you don't have a gym bro, if you don't have somebody you go work out with. At least this is from my perspective. I always have better workouts when I'm working out with somebody. I'm more consistent. You have somebody to hold accountable. You have somebody to talk to. You have somebody to push you. You have somebody to spot you. All of these things. You have somebody to, if you're new, you have somebody to kind of teach you the ropes and all that type of stuff. I really like going with somebody. Doesn't mean I don't go on my own. It just means I enjoy it more going with somebody. And so I'm trying to get Chewy to be my gym bro. Plus, it'll make my self-confidence skyrocket.
Seeing yourself in those gym mirrors, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm fine."
Yeah. Well, no, but here's the thing. You know, we joke so much about softball dad saying he thought that I was bigger in person. It wasn't ever about my height. It's about the fact see, you guys are making fun of my height. You think that that's what hurt me? It's not that. I am an inch and a half above average height, which some people would say an inch and a half is a lot.
That's a whole lot, actually.
But
if you ask me,
like I said, but that was not what his comment was directed at. His comment was directed at the fact that I was not as big, I was not as jacked as he thought that I was going to be. Because we joke about, we talk about, and there are pictures, and I used to wear cutoff sleeves and all the things like that back when I had time to go to the gym all the time, and I was super jacked. Well, I go to the gym like 3 times a month now. So he's all making fun of the fact that I'm small, as in my biceps aren't 16 inches anymore.
So it's my fault that your biceps aren't 16 inches anymore.
16 and a half. But yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So
I need to rectify this.
You need to help me. Even if you just go and watch me and do the whole, like, you could be like my trainer, like my Rocky trainer. Like, dun, you could sit in the background eating your Cheetos and be like, dun, 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 dun,
just on a treadmill, dun, like eating a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah. Like, push me through it. I need a gym bro. So
Lambo says stay away from Trent. But good TRT is highly recommended.
It doesn't need to be just Lambo. Just point me in the right direction. What do I need to get on?
Daily dose of Cialis for example. He says the gummy bears are a good source of carbs. See, I was thinking it was like a Mayweather thing. You know, like Floyd Mayweather after the fights would like drink a Pepsi.
Yeah.
And everyone would.
So he's actually eating gummy bears.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would also like. No, I'm not going to say that on air. But so my point being, I'm genuinely considering it. I will tell you that, Joe Abraham.
Let me point this out. So Chad Ochocinco, also known as Chad Johnson, was one of the most like jacked guys in the NFL. He was so ripped and cut up and all the things, and he was a great athlete. And Chad Johnson used to eat like 15,000 calories a day from McDonald's.
God.
It wasn't that much. It was like 5,000.
But it was still.
But the dude would go to McDonald's and just crush it, whatever he wanted to, because his body, needed fuel, and it was burning it at such a high rate because he was always running. He was always working out. He was always active, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if we motivated you like a carrot, except for the carrot is a cheeseburger or chicken nuggies. Nuggets have good protein.
They do. It makes me curious because, like, I've told everyone on air, I just want the anchor arms. I don't care about losing weight. I don't care about looking better.
Yeah.
I just want big arms, and
Yeah.
I feel like I can achieve that. I'm having a midlife crisis. I'm 30. I'm lucky if I'm making it to 32.
Yeah.
You know, so I got.
You're a little bit past midlife. This is a late life crisis for you.
Yeah, dude. And I'm like, this is my last chance to get in the gym and just be jacked. And then Jay Cool says, like Marshawn Lynch with Skittles.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense, guys.
All right.
So what you're telling me is that it's okay. All the Rice Krispie so Katie's gotten into this Rice Krispie treat kick.
Oh, yeah. She made some the other day.
All the Rice Krispie treats that I've been hammering lately. You're telling me that that's okay.
Yeah.
I listen, I think it would be a good idea. You know, you can, number one, you can get jacked. And so when you do go out, we can have an open casket, but not only can it be open casket, we can go sleeveless.
Sleeveless
Rip
casket.
Off, yeah. You could save a little bit of money on your tuxedo because you don't have to pay for the
arms.
Yeah. That's hey. Public announcement to anybody listening. When I die, I want to be jacked enough that my open casket has cutoffs. Cut-off hoodie.
I will sign a contract with you.
Yeah.
Like a legally binding contract that says I will do everything in my power to make sure that you have a sleeveless open casket.
There we go. And if I die and have some sort of degenerative disease where my arms shrivel up and I don't have jacked arms anymore, you have permission to go in and put like inflatable or stuffing, just like stuff my arms, and just make me look jacked again, just one last time.
You can trust me on that. Me and my brother have a signed contract with each other too. I think I've told you that.
What does it say?
It's both. It says whoever dies first is in charge of the design of whatever marker or urn or whatever it is, but we have to use the font Comic Sans on that marker. And that is we have both signed this, like with signatures. So it'll happen. So
Papyrus.
Yeah. That would be so good. Impact font. Like that would be hilarious.
Oh man.
Brett Crabtree says, I can help you, Chewy. Sun's out, guns out. There you go.
Like Build-A-Bear. Jay Cool is exactly hitting my vibe. If I'm not jacked anymore, Build-A-Bear me up, baby.
They're gonna put a little fake heart in you too, so whenever they push on your chest, you make a noise.
They'd need to. I don't think I have a heart.
We got way off topic.
Where were we going?
You were wanting to talk about
to
Aaron
the gym.
Rodgers.
That's where we were going.
Well, nice try, Joe. No, we were talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Well, hold on. Before we get back to Aaron, we need to talk about this cornbread festival.
Oh, dude.
Lambo, when is this cornbread festival going on? Because if I ever had a reason to go down to South Pittsburgh outside of a football game.
He said it's this Saturday.
Oh, it's this weekend?
Yeah.
Dang it. I got way too much going on this weekend. I got a fishing tournament. I got to go to the Braves game.
Another one?
Yes. This is the third, possibly the final one. Here's the other thing that I've determined. Get this. I have come up with a reason behind why on the day of the tournament I fish so poorly. And what I've determined is anytime that I put on my fishing uniform, my angler uniform, which is like the Bassmaster Radio. It's got my name on the back. It's got all the little patchy logo looking things and stuff like that. I fish like absolute crap. I don't fish like crap. I think the fish have an aversion to the uniform. You know, it's not that I'm a poser or anything like that, huh?
You use a fish camo.
Yeah. So what I think I need to do is instead this Saturday I'm not going to wear the jersey.
Okay.
I'm gonna just go straight Jacked Joe black T-shirt style.
Just Adam Savage T-shirt.
Doesn't
that's a little too tight.
Yeah. A schmedium. It doesn't matter if it's like 90 degrees out with the heat up in it. Which, by the way, today I woke up. I said, Alexa, what's the weather supposed to be like today? She says, it's 35 degrees out right now, but it will be 75 degrees later.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we not go with a 40-degree swing in one day? Goodness gracious. All right, so back to Aaron Rodgers, who sucks. So I I have talked about this in the past. It drives me absolutely insane, Chewy, and you know this, but the guy still has not told anybody whether or not he's going to be playing this year, and he does this every year at this point. What I can't understand is why teams continue to attach themselves to this guy. He's such a cancer, and I can't understand. Like, Pittsburgh Steelers fans are glad that he's on their team. Let's just talk about something for a second, okay? Mike McCarthy, fired. Robert Saleh, fired. Mike Tomlin, fired, or he stepped away, or whatever you want to say. Aaron Rodgers is an absolute franchise killer here in the last, 8 years, 7 years, something like that. 6 years. He is the most exhausting guy in the entire NFL. Aaron. But you know how you don't build a roster? Is with that guy. It drives me absolutely nuts. You have to have a draft strategy. How can you have a draft strategy if you don't even know who your quarterback is going to be? Which means you can't build your roster. You have to know what you're going to do in free agency. How can you know what you're going to do in free agency if you don't know who your quarterback's going to be? How can you know what your locker room is going to look like if you don't have your leader in place, or you don't know if your leader is going to be in place? It's like trying to run a business and not knowing who your manager is going to be. He may retire, he may not. How do you run a business that way? But it's not a new thing, Chewy. This is a pattern. It started with the drama with Green Bay. It continued with the Jets and the chaos that was, in New York. And now the Steelers are stuck with him, but they don't even realize what they're doing to themselves. I don't know what they think is going to happen, but tell me when the last time a team succeeded was when they went into the season and you're at the draft and you don't even know who your quarterback is going to be. Tell me the last team that was in this place that ended up threatening for any kind of success.
It seems like a lot of the only thing that Aaron Rodgers does is provide a lot of basically guaranteed attention, but that doesn't really win games.
Yeah, not the right kind that you want, right?
Right. And so what I'm wondering is, like, if you were like a manager or a financier of one of these teams, like, it's fine for publicity, but it's not winning anything.
Well, and here's the other thing about him is that he's such a control freak and a manipulative kind of, and he wants to be kind of in charge, but he doesn't want the accountability and all the things. If you call him out on it, he loses his mind. But he delays the decision. He controls the narrative through the whole process, and then he's got the team hanging in limbo. He doesn't just join the team. He stops them from moving forward. Yeah. He literally, any positive progress that your team might have been making in the right direction, he's a wall.
He's his own worst enemy.
If you were a team in the NFL, would you want Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback?
I mean, I would venture it. Me personally, just even being a layman, absolutely not.
Right. And it doesn't matter. Here's the thing: the only way that I would want a guy like that as my quarterback is if, say, I was like the Vikings and Sam Darnold went down in week 3, and you thought that you had a team of players that was good enough, or not the Vikings, the Seahawks, and Sam Darnold goes down in week 3, and you thought you had a team that was good enough to win a Super Bowl, but now you were without a quarterback. That's the only way that I would want that guy, and it would be to say, hey, you want another ring, you want to, add to your legacy or whatever. We don't want all the drama, but we're going to come in. We need somebody to get us through, to get us the most out of what we can do this year. And that's the only way that I would bring that guy in. Yeah. I'm not going to. You can't build a franchise around him. But if you had a team like the Titans, would the Titans want? No. Even as a Browns fan, would I want Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback? No.
Jay says Rodgers is a decent quarterback now. He was elite, but he is holding the franchise hostage with his lack of decision making.
Right.
And then says, don't mention Aaron and the Vikings in the same sentence.
Yeah. Well, and again, that's a situation where if you had a team that's got a lot of promise and you needed somebody who could come in and play well and just kind of get you through, I think that he's good enough. But from the intangible side of things, he's a mess. He's a disaster. Now, speaking of disasters, when we come back, Chewy, it seems like every year headed into the draft, the league and the pundits and everybody, the talking heads, they all fall in love with a guy, and they talk about his long-term prospects. Sometimes they fall in love with a lot of guys. But last year there was one guy in particular that they fell in love with. And we'll tell you who it was, what happened to him, and how he has already become a disaster of a pick for the team that took him. We'll do that next. It is the starting lineup. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Happy Millionaire's Day to you. Happy Millionaire's Day to you. Happy Millionaire's Day, dear Tennessee lottery player. Happy Millionaire's Day to you and many more. Want the chance to celebrate $1 million win again and again? Play the Millionaire for Life game from the Tennessee Lottery. With drawings every day, you could win $1 million a year for life. Talk about a gift that never gets old. Millionaire for Life from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
The starting lineup with Joe and Chewy is presented by Loco in Winchester. Right here in Winchester, Loco is doing things their own way. From locally roasted Loco coffee to a one-of-a-kind shop experience. It's a place that's built for the Franklin County community. So if you haven't stopped by yet, now's the time. Support local. Drink Loco coffee, fueling Franklin County mornings. Roasted right here in Franklin County. And don't forget to tune into the starting lineup, weekdays from 7 to 9.
This is Andy Davis with Davis & Davis Southern Injury Law. Right here in Franklin County, people know our name, and they know we show up ready to fight. If you've been injured in a wreck, do not talk to the insurance adjuster. Talk to us. The insurance adjuster's job is to adjust what the insurance company owes you down. No fee unless you get paid. Call Davis & Davis Southern Injury Law at 931-967-7000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Franklin County Revelettes fell just short Thursday night, dropping a 7-6 district contest to Lawrence County. But the loss told a deeper story. Franklin County intentionally rotated all three primary pitchers in 2-inning windows as part of the postseason preparation. Bella Smith opened, Victoria Nelson handled the middle innings, and Delana Marshall closed. Nelson was outstanding, delivering 3 2/3 scoreless innings with 6 strikeouts to keep the Revelettes within striking distance. Defensively, however, the difference showed again. Of the 7 runs allowed, only 3 were earned. On the season, Franklin County has surrendered 55 unearned runs, a number that continues to loom large in tight games. At the plate, the Revelettes adjusted late and nearly completed a comeback, finishing with 10 hits. With runners on second and third in the 7th and the tying run just 60 feet away, a ground out ended the game with Bella Smith waiting on deck. Franklin County will host Warren County Monday as district tournament play approaches. In other news, a 55-year-old Winchester man, Joey Allen Evie, remains in the Franklin County Jail on a $200,000 bond following charges related to an April 4th incident. He faces charges including especially aggravated kidnapping, rape, aggravated assault, and aggravated burglary. Authorities report the victim was forced into a vehicle, assaulted, and later escaped. Evie is scheduled to appear in court July 10th. And last night, strong storms moved across Middle Tennessee, bringing heavy rain, lightning, hail, and strong winds. While most of Franklin County avoided major damage, other areas experienced downed trees and power outages. Utility crews worked Friday morning to restore service in the affected communities. For more local news and updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
We had a plan, and then the microphones came on. You're listening to the starting lineup on ESPN Radio 1340-1069, WCDT Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joey Abraham alongside Chewy. Starting lineup fueled by Loco Coffee. I don't have my coffee this morning. I'm sad.
Shame on you, Joey.
I know it. In fact, I don't have any pre-workout either.
What?
I know. I ran out.
You ran out of pre-workout?
I'm out of the pre.
We got to find that stuff that Sean Crabtree brought us.
Oh, it's around here somewhere. The Spark?
Yeah. We'll get some of that in you.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Chewy, we've been talking a little bit of sports this morning on the show. And one of the things that I brought up last year prior to the draft was my opinion on Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, depending on what show you listened to, all you heard this time last year was people fawning over Travis Hunter. This is a once-in-a-lifetime, a generational talent who can play both sides of the ball. He's so athletic. He can play wide receiver. He can play cornerback. He would be a Pro Bowler in either position. He would be an All-Pro. He's so good. And the guy's playing like 120 snaps or something a game in college football. And I sat here over and over and over again and said, when you get to the league, number one, from an athletic standpoint, everybody's a tremendous athlete. Number two, when you get to the league, your development and your continued development is so important. You can't just come into the league and from an athletic standpoint be better than everybody else and have that set you apart. You'd have to be an absolute anomaly, a freak of nature. It's about the work that you're able to put in. And this goes with any sport, right? You want to be the best. We talk about the best golfers in the world or the best hockey players in the world or the best. Those guys are working on their craft. They live it. They breathe it. Tom Brady was not the best athlete, right, in the world. He wasn't the best thrower of the thrower of the football. He wasn't the best overall quarterback from a when you just look at him on paper. But when you consider the intangibles and how he worked at his craft, you'd say that the reason he's the GOAT is because he cracked the code. He studied, he put in the work. It was amazing. But it was not his physical traits that made him better. He never had the strongest arm. He was never the fastest. He was never the smartest quarterback in the league. He was never he was never any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So when I looked at Travis Hunter this past year, going into the draft, my immediate thought was they're drafting a guy off of the principle that they believe, they think that he can be a Pro Bowler going both ways, both sides of the ball because of his athletic ability. I don't see it. He was very good in college, but every year you have 10 to 15 wide receivers, the best 10 to 15 wide receivers taken in the NFL draft every year from college. And every year you have the best 10 to 15 cornerbacks taken, maybe more, from that position into the NFL. And he was somewhere in the top 3 or 4 or 5 in both of those positions. But then you've got to consider, okay, now over the course of 10 years, we weed out 75% of those guys never even make it. 75% of the guys that are drafted won't play 10 years, which means that you're left with a tiny percentage, the best of the best in the league. And that's what makes the NFL so amazing. That's what you could take the worst football team in the NFL and they would beat the absolute ever living out of Indiana, who won the national championship in college football. The two aren't even comparable because the worst players on an NFL football team are still better than the best players on a college football team.
Jay jumped in saying that he's a firm believer that third-round draft pick is good as a first pick. And does that sort of corroborate with what you're saying where, like, these guys, everyone is an elite talent? You know what I mean? Like, that's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah, I think that what you could do is probably run the numbers and see, from a analytics standpoint, from a statistical standpoint, how many third-rounders, second and third-rounders stay in the league versus first-rounders. First-rounders, we talk about how they're busts because they don't necessarily accomplish what you hope when you spend a high pick on them and you pick them over some of the other guys. You get better value in the later rounds, in the second and third rounds.
Can the expectation poison the outcome sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly guys who it goes to their head, and or even teams where you draft a guy, and because you're drafting him as the future and you want to pay him all this money and all these things, you want to get him involved. Say you draft a quarterback number 1 overall, and then the Raiders are a good example of this. The Raiders have Kirk Cousins on their roster now. They're going to draft Fernando Mendoza number 1 overall probably. Well, if Fernando Mendoza comes in and he is nowhere near as good as Kirk Cousins is, but now you've drafted him number 1 overall, you've set these high expectations that he's the quarterback of the future, you're going to kind of force the issue. You want to see him develop into, and you want to give him an opportunity to start. Well, if he's just not any good, there's nothing that you can really do about that. And we've seen that with guys in the past, but ultimately what it comes down to, in my mind, is the amount of work that they put in. Again, we talked about Jamarcus Russell and some of these other, Ryan Leaf. It wasn't their physical traits that kept them from being successful. It was the intangibles. It was the mental aspect of the game. Or again, Jamarcus Russell coming in and he had these high expectations on him, but he just thought he was going to show up and be better than everybody. Johnny Manziel didn't put in the work. There are guys who have been tremendous in college that their game just didn't translate to the NFL because they didn't put in the work.
It sounds like the Browns have also sort of fallen to this as well, where they put all their eggs in one basket with a guy thinking this is going to be us. The next 5 years is going to be on this guy, and that's how they fumble as well.
Yeah.
They're sort of falling in the same pitfalls.
Yeah. Which last week, by the way, I went through and I talked about how Ryan Leaf and Russell or Jamarcus Russell were probably the 2 biggest draft busts of all time. Let's not forget Isaiah Wilson, who was drafted number 29th overall in the first round out of Georgia by the Tennessee Titans and played 4 snaps in his entire NFL career. Wow. But, yes, I mean, to your point, Chewy, the level of expectations, okay? But Travis Hunter is in a no-win situation because if he does try and play full-time on both sides of the ball, the physical abuse that his body's going to take is going to shorten his career. It's going to wreck him. From a training and development standpoint, you cannot be a top 5 wide receiver in the league if you're not practicing and preparing like a top 5 wide receiver in the league. There are plenty of guys who are as athletic as the top 5 wide receivers in the league, but the reason they're not one of those top 5 guys, they're just as physically gifted, but the reason that they're not one of them is because they're not necessarily putting in the work to be one of them. And if he's splitting his time at being one of the best cornerbacks in the league and trying to be the best one of the best wide receivers in the league, he's going to be the best of neither, right? There's not enough time in the day for him to be training and practicing and recovering from playing both sides of the ball. There's just not. And so now what's happened is they've essentially taken the offensive side away from him. He's only going to play one side of the ball, and they're going to have two or three plays or a package in on offense where he can get in and do some stuff offensively. But he's not going to be a full-time wide receiver anymore.
Jay Cool said Tom Brady was drafted in 6th, Stephen Diggs in 5th, and then he says Laquan Treadwell. Jeez.
Yeah.
Is that another bust?
No. So there are guys, and that's to his point, you can get better value later in the draft because those level of expectations aren't as high. If the guy that you draft in the 5th or 6th round doesn't work out, that doesn't cost you anything. Right. It doesn't hurt you. But if you're looking at a top 5 pick or a top 10 pick year after year, like the Browns have, or like the Titans have an opportunity with this year, you want to get a guy who's going to make an impact.
Oh, because you're the health of the team kind of depends on that.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. I mean, if you take a guy with that pick that does not increase your team's performance on the field, then it's essentially a wasted pick. There's enough guys coming out of the draft every year to pick a few that are going to help your team. Now, back to the Travis Hunter thing, to my point, so they gave up in that trade, they gave up a first-round pick to the Browns this year and a bunch of other picks. The Browns got like multiple players who are good and are helping the team and are long-term. I think Dylan Sampson was taken with one of the picks that they got from the Jaguars. I think that the running back that they got from Ohio State was taken with one of those picks as well. They've got guys that are making an on-field impact. So the Browns, and they've got another draft pick this year, but the Browns have gotten multiple guys who they can put on the field who can positively affect how well they are playing as a team. And the Jaguars got one guy who's not living up to what they hoped that he could be. They thought that they were going to get a guy who's going to be basically twice as productive for the cost of one.
Right.
And that's why he was going to be such a high-value player, is he was a 2-for-1 kind of guy. Well, it turns out he's not a 2-for-1 kind of guy. And in fact, if he's not careful, he's not going to be even a top 5 cornerback in the league someday, because that's hard to do. It's just hard to do. It's hard to be one of the best. You got to. So I said it last year. I'll say it again this year. He was not a top 5 pick. I would not have taken him there. It was a huge risk. Not only did they take him at number 3 overall, but they mortgaged their future to do so. And the Browns have definitely come out on top on that trade.
Jay jumped back in saying, I don't blame the player fully. It's the team's job to develop the player, and if their infrastructure is crap, then don't expect greatness unless they're traded.
Yeah. Well, and we've seen that, to Jay's point, we've seen that with a lot of quarterbacks here in recent years. Sam Darnold's a great example of this. The Jets drafted him. He bounced around the league, played for the Panthers, played for a bunch of crappy teams, Chewy, and never had success. Then he lands with an organization that is in good shape, the Vikings. The guy that they thought was going to be the starting quarterback gets hurt. He gets an opportunity, gets good coaching, proves that he's not a bust. They decide to move on from him. He goes to the Seahawks, and he wins a Super Bowl. Another guy, Baker Mayfield, comes in the league, flashes with the Browns. I mean, think about how good you got to be as a quarterback to win games like Baker Mayfield did for the Browns, right? And they were moving not just from a wins perspective, but from a culture perspective. This is what frustrates Browns fan, is he was changing what it meant to be a Browns fan. You could be proud again to be a Browns fan. He was on commercials, all these things, and all of a sudden, they get an opportunity to get a guy who's been acting inappropriately or suspected of acting inappropriately against women, and they think that that's the right move to make, is to take a risk on a guy like that. And they're not the only ones in the league. The Atlanta Falcons were interested. There were a bunch of teams that were interested in Deshaun Watson. But the fact that you could be so tone deaf, the fact that a guy like Colin Kaepernick could get run out of the league after taking a team to the Super Bowl, and again, I'm not for the fact that he was kneeling, but consider what he was doing versus what Deshaun Watson was possibly doing, allegedly doing. How is one guy not run out? How is one guy run out of the league and the other guy not? I feel like
there's a bit of a double standard there, to a degree.
All right, let's get a quick break in here. We'll wrap things up when we come back. It is the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. This is ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Hey folks, I'm Johnny Hand from WCDT, the home for Franklin County Athletics. From Friday night football to every big game in between, we're proud to bring you all the action that keeps our community cheering. Want to be part of that excitement? We'd love to talk with you about advertising and other great opportunities to support our local athletes. So give us a call today at 931-967-2201 or stop by the station at 1201 South College Street right here in Winchester. WCDT Winchester. We are Franklin County.
More Courtney Funeral Home. Well, they're a fifth-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. More Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. More Courtney Funeral Home.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
You're listening to the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee, on ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT, Winchester.
Final segment here on the starting lineup. Mayhem Monday edition. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. So, Chewy, this past weekend, WrestleMania 42. We have any wrestling fans in the chat? W's in the chat for wrestling. But what it got me thinking, what it got me wondering, spam calls are already started. What it got me wondering is, if you and I were pro wrestlers, you couldn't go by the name Chewy.
Right.
What would your wrestling name be? What would my wrestling name be?
I would be called Thick Ripper.
Thick Ripper. I thought it would be something to do with like cryptids or something.
I guess we could do that, maybe like Squatch or something like that, like one of those like short one names.
I was thinking for me it would be like slightly above average Joe.
It's actually really funny.
Yours could be like the Wookiee or Area 51.
The Tennessee Wild Man.
The Franklin, what is it? The Winchester
Swamp Squatch. Yeah.
Swamp Squatch.
Heck yeah, dude. I come out in swim trunks every time. I like that. I don't know. I wrestling has never appeal to me.
Which is funny because you look like the biggest wrestling fan.
I feel like it was designed for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Totally.
I fit my.
You know what the problem is you were born about 10 years too late. If you had been born in 90 or 88, somewhere along, you would be the biggest wrestling fan because you'd have grown up in that Attitude Era with me and, D-Generation X.
You always say I look like Mankind.
Mankind, yeah. There was a group of who was it? Was it something Hardy or the Hardy Boys or one of the? But for guys who know what I'm talking about, the D-Generation X, you know what I'm talking about? The move that they used to do. I'll have to tell you after. I can't say it on air.
Oh, okay.
But they used to do this move, and so you had middle school boys going around doing this move all over the country, and it was. When I tell you what it is, it's going to blow your mind.
I had friends who got in trouble for like doing the wrestling moves on the playground and stuff like that. They all had the action figures and stuff like that. Like, so I was like culturally aware of it, like just through osmosis.
Yeah.
But it just never appealed to me. But it does seem like the kind of thing that I would love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know why?
Totally. It totally would fit. I mean, like I could see you hosting a wrestling podcast.
Oh,
like you got that kind of. But so if you were the Swamp Squatch or the Wookiee or whatever, we'd have to then come up with your finishing move. We could name it something along the lines of. It could be like the Unleashing, referencing the new name of your show.
Yeah.
The Area 51 Slam.
The Probe.
This is Chewy's finishing move right here.
Yeah.
He just raises his index finger.
That's my threat whenever I walk in.
Yeah. The Probe.
Vince McMahon, I'm coming for you.
Oh, gosh. Mine would be like, the final word. I would talk somebody to death.
I like that. No, that would be kind of cool. The outro. You know what I mean? Like you'd be like, and that's a wrap. Or you'd like, you know what I mean? Like you'd do the finishing move and then you point at the camera and then say it like with the microphone.
Yeah.
You know, like what's the Rock cooking, that kind of thing. You would have
So what I would do is I'd either like go over to the announcer's booth and grab the microphone, or I would have one in my back pocket or something like that. And I would take the microphone and I'd hit you in the head with it. Boom, you're done. You're out.
Oh, man.
That'd be my finishing move.
Going to break. You know what I mean? Jay Cole says, I can see Chewy as Jim Hacksaw Duggan.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah, sure. Who played Bonesaw in the live action Spider-Man Sam Raimi one? You know, I think it was Randy Savage, if I'm not wrong. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I got you for 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Oh, yeah, I fought Spider-Man one time. Yeah, like, could you imagine listening to that? Like I would do it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're gonna go fight a human spider. Get off the walls.
Snap into a Slim Jim. Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, that's not. Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna say those were both pretty good,
dude. If you get jacked,
I could be like him.
You could be a pro wrestler. I mean, technically, you don't have to be jacked to be a pro wrestler.
I was about to say. I bet you I could just be one now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think so.
I would also love to be the guy who does the announcer, like in the middle, at the beginning, the "Let's get ready to rumble." Yeah. I've heard he's very litigious, so I'm not going to do it. But I would love to do that.
He'll come after us.
Oh yeah, like
really?
he has like a squad, like a goon squad of like guys who scour media.
Really?
Who do that because he's got copyright on it.
What a loser.
Brett Krabs, says Chewy is more like a woolly, rowdy Roddy Piper.
Rowdy Roddy Piper. I don't know about that.
I don't know. I don't know who any of these guys are.
I think it's hilarious though that they've all got an opinion on which wrestler you are.
This seems to be a public topic. Maybe we should put this as the poll question.
Yeah,
who would?
I still go back to Mankind. If we took the Mankind mask and put it on you, which is funny. So the mayor, I think it's the mayor of Knox County, is Kane. Do you remember
Are you
Kane?
Serious? Yeah.
Who had the mask and I'm pretty sure that's the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Wow.
Is Kane.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. Brett says he could definitely see him wearing a kilt and the whole thing. Dude, I would rock a kilt. Not even joking.
Okay. He said that, and I could see that.
I would totally do that.
Yeah.
I've thought about it before. I saw one at Hot Topic one time. It was like exactly my size, but it was like the ones with like the chains and the like the belts and everything hanging down. And I thought, that leans a little too far into the character. You know what I mean? Like we have to have some whimsy in there. Like it has to be covered in flamingos or something.
Yeah. I had a bathroom at one point in time when I was a single dude. I had a bathroom that was all flamingos.
Nice,
Yeah.
dog. I saw
sick.
the other day. I saw one of those LED neon things.
Yeah.
Big fat pink flamingo. And I was like, dang, we need that on the freaking set.
I saw one. So where was it? It was in somewhere up in Tullahoma. I was killing time between the kids' practice, and there was one that was like a big Snoopy head, a big LED Snoopy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought about sticking that in the studio. I thought that would be pretty cool. Anyway, yeah. I don't know what kind of wrestler you would be, what your finishing move would be.
Jay says if you had hair, you'd be Bret Hart.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the sock that Chewy would wear on his hand.
Mr. Socko.
Maybe these. I've got dinosaur socks on this morning.
That's Spinosaurus. My favorite wrestler of all time, I've talked about him before, is Goldberg.
Yeah.
And I want to be jacked like Goldberg. Goldberg had these huge traps. He was like this. He was
like a triangle.
Yeah. He was awesome.
All right.
I want to get jacked like Goldberg.
Let's talk about this on the afternoon show. I like this content. This is fun.
Somebody hooked me up with some
Goldberg
some
merch.
roids. Oh yeah, that too.
We're totally different ends of where
All right, brother. Well, for folks who want to catch you later on Unleashed, 2 to 4 p.m., you're going to have Kyle from Domino's on?
We are. I'm hoping you'll be there with me, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
If you've got time.
I was told he was bringing me some pizza, so I'll be there.
So come hang out with us on the afternoon show, 2 to 4. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It is a Cinna Monday.
This could be a short-lived experience.
Yeah, don't get too attached. Yeah. But we'll see.
Oh, man. No, I'm excited for it. All right. For Chewy, I am Joe Abraham. You guys have been listening to a Mayhem Monday here on the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. Coming up on the other side, we will have Reliable Rentals Swap and Shop. This is ESPN Radio, 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
Spring is here, and it's time to wear it out loud at T-Shirt Spot in Tullahoma. Whether you need custom tees for your business, school, team, or just something fun for the season, T-Shirt Spot has you covered. Literally. Fresh designs, bold colors, and quality